So this is Cat the Calicancer, and I'm not covering the Oscars tonight. Instead, I'll just tell you what they are. This is one of those years where the Oscars have picked a slew of movies that make no sense because they're dramas. But it is also a year that they picked 2 action movies. So they broke the tide. However, they still picked most of these movies which came out late. On their list, they start out with a Triangle of Sadness. I haven't seen it, so I can't rate it. Rich people on a cruise ship. Drama ensues. Comedy. But when you look at what this movie made here in the U.S., $4 million. That's a bomb. That is a bomb. That movie bombed. 24 million internationally. It's still a bomb. Why is this movie even being nominated? It probably came out in December. Anyway, so next we go to Top Gun Maverick, action movie. Yeah, 718 million US, 1.5 billion internationally. They'll probably give it to the Top Gun movie. That's probably what they'll do. They'll probably avoid this other one because it's a little too weird. The next one is Everything Everywhere All at Once. So Everything Everywhere All at Once. 73 million domestic, 106 million internationally. So it didn't quite bomb. I think it made back, basically broke even. But still, it broke even, so they're probably not going to do anything now. It's a better movie than Top Gun 2. But it's probably not going to get nominated. Or they'll just pick the really, really boring ones. What's really weird here is they've done a remake of All's Quiet on the Western Front, which has been remade at least once. I can't find a listing for the remake. It is a remake, so under the auspice of the Oscars, they should say, oh, this movie doesn't count as a Best Picture because it's a remake of a picture. It's like having a cover of a song and having the cover be more famous than the original. Or in this case, the cover of the song not being interesting at all to the original. I can't find anything on it. And it's a war movie, and they like that. The next one is Elvis. That's the Boz Levin Elvis movie. Didn't see it. 151 million US, 287 domestically, which means it bombed too. I'm sure they spent more than that on the story and the setting and all that. Probably spent about 280 million on it. So yeah. Not sure why that's there. And then we come to Tar, based on the classical musician Tar, a German classical musician from a long time ago. Of course, they like that kind of thing. 7 million US, 22 million internationally. It bombed. It came out in probably November. Avatar 2, 647 million US. I did see that, and I did see Top Gun Maverick. 2.3 billion internationally. I think this movie probably should be the first of its own category. I think they should. There's a clear disparity between, and there always has been, between the action pictures, the epic blockbuster pictures, and the drama films. Yeah, and they should separate them. They should say, okay, Avatar and Top Gun are in Best Fantasy Film of the Year category, and drama is in Best Drama Film of the Year, or comedy is Best Comedy of the Year. They should do that. They don't. Yeah, as I'm wearing a Star Wars hoodie. There's never going to be a Star Wars. Let's see. So we have the next one is Women Talking, a drama movie about like rights, but not necessarily civil rights. It's sort of like a fight going on 13 years ago. 5 million US, made 7 million internationally, which means it didn't air and it bombed. It probably came out in December, so they do that a lot. Late fall, they can't remember beyond that. The Oscar guys are so old, they probably remember the original All's Quiet on the Western Front and think, oh, that's a good movie. Yeah, the sequel, no one went to see. It wasn't. Then we come to, yeah, I'm sure it's a fine civil rights movie, or rights movie or whatever it is. But no one went to see it. Was never out. You don't, yeah. Then we come to the Banshees of Inisherin. A couple of friends having a fight, kind of the same idea, but more personal. The fight stories seem to be common in this. Also, that was a plot of Avatar 2. But this one made 10 million US and 46 million internationally. It tanked. It tanked. And then we come to the Steven Spielberg biopic, The Fabelmans, the pseudo biopic. It's clearly meant to be the Spielbergs, which is fine, but it didn't make any money. 17 million US and 38 million internationally. Wow. Tanked. It utterly fell flat on its face and tanked. They didn't want to see a movie about the Spielberg. They didn't want to see that. They just didn't. It wasn't out on the plane. I believe it's now on DVD. Some of these might be Netflix shows, in which case they should be their own category as well. They should say, okay, if these other shows were Netflix shows that only had like 5 million, that's a different category. Okay, online streaming movie. Best online streaming movie of the year. There, that way it's fair. That way you're saying, oh, this is the online streaming movie that won. Whatever that is, yeah. And an animated feature, Turning Red, and Puss in Boots 2. I didn't write down what they made. God. I didn't write down what they made. I would say that although Puss in Boots 2 is visually more interesting, Turning Red got the short shiv of the story because they only had it on during well, it wasn't even the pandemic at that point. It was this year, so yeah, I'm not sure why. Was it technically last year? It was. Yeah, it didn't come out in theaters. They put it to streaming, and because they didn't, people didn't go and see it. I saw Puss in Boots 2 on streaming, but it wasn't technically didn't start there. I would say Turning Red wins that, if indeed that's a 2022 movie. I'm gonna check that. Yes. So the Clara Award choice was for Best Picture was Everything Everywhere All at Once. Still is. And Turning Red is the animated feature. So, yeah. And I'm not gonna give Avatar 2. I'm not gonna give him the Best Picture. Visually, I would say okay, special effects, sure, sure, stuff like that, makeup, design, visual presentation, that kind of thing. Not Best Picture. The story is really weak. Even though it won billions of dollars, it's really weak. Top Gun 2 did it better with the story. But again, that's a sequel. They're both sequels, so I don't think it necessarily a sequel deserves to get an Oscar. How many sequels get Oscars? Usually they, which would put Puss in Boots 2 out too. But yeah, I'm not the one deciding, so yeah. The Clara Awards guy. What is here now? I don't do any of this. Never even been to a red carpet thing. So yeah, small scale ones, but not Hollywood, of course. But yeah, so yeah, there's probably one of those talky, boring movies about illness or strife is going to win. It's going to be one of those movies no one's heard of. It's going to disappear on the bargain bin. It's going to be on the DVD selection shelf thing. It's dying anyway. And you're going to see these other movies. Oh, Best Picture of the Year is Women Talking or something. And it'll be like, really? Okay, Oscar. Yeah. Maybe drama. Maybe Tar is better. Tar is probably better. Yes. Tar. It's got like a wow on the top of it. Anyway, or what the accent mark going the other way? That's not a nom loud. That's a hash tag of the top. Tar. Tar. Ew. Yeah, those other 4 movies are like, why are they on here? They're not only did they bomb, clearly they didn't make any money, but why would they even be acknowledged at the Oscars? Just weird. There was a joke about this like 20 years ago in Hot Shots Part 3, in which the bad guy goes and takes over the Oscars, and they deliberately come up with silly movies that no one watches, and directly like wink at the audience all meta and like, well, yes, here's the movie no one has actually ever seen. It wins, yay, or whatever. It's like that. The movie with shiny spears, yes. That was the other one, the Gladiator. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, I don't care what the Oscars end up with. Yeah. I don't think Everything Everywhere All at Once is going to win. It would be cool if it did, but it's probably not going to. It's going to be the crowd-pleasing one, which would make it Avatar 2. But it probably isn't going to be Avatar 2 just because they really, really don't like fantasy movies. For years. It's not going to be that. I don't think so. It'd be weird if it was Top Gun 2. Well, it's not going to be either of those. I think they're going to have to go with whatever movie is the drama of the year, which is why they should separate the categories and say, all right, this drama movie's better, but as a drama, and this other movie's better as a comedy, this other movie's better. Really, a cruise ship movie? Really? Who cares about a cruise ship movie? They're so old, they probably think The Love Boat is still on TV.